And he says, in the TOB courses I've run, I sometimes come across people who say things like, that's all really great and all, but it's more of an ideal and isn't always applicable or able to be practiced in every marriage relationship. How do you respond to people who question the realistic application of things like saving sex for marriage or NFP within marriage, and those that have grown doubts as a result of trying and repeatedly failing to apply the principles of TOB in their lives?
Yeah, I'm going to respond with one of my favorite quotes from St. John Paul II. You'll find it in his document, Veritatis Splendor, the splendor of the truth. And he's responding exactly to this objection. That's a nice ideal, but it doesn't really correspond to the concrete possibilities of fallen human beings. Well, guess what? There's a certain truth there, because in our own broken humanity, nobody can live this. It's not about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, because nobody can live this on their own. But John Paul goes on to say, to whom is this teaching given? Is it given to men and women who are slaves to their own lusts? Or is it given to men and women who have been set free by the power of the Holy Spirit? He says, this is what is at stake. The reality of Christ's redemption. Christ has redeemed us. This means he has given us the possibility of realizing the entire truth of our humanity. And he goes on to say, if redeemed man still sins, it is not due to an imperfection in the redemptive act of Christ, but it's due to an unwillingness on our part to open our lives to the grace of the redemption. The gospel is certainly proportioned to our abilities, but to the ability of the person to whom the Holy Spirit has been given. We can't do it on our own. We have to fall on our knees when we recognize I can't do this. We're being honest. But at that point, we have to fall on our knees and say, Lord, give me the ability to do what I can't do on my own. And here's the point. On our own, we cannot walk on water. The gospel is a call to walk on water. How can we do it? Only by fixing our eyes on Jesus, right? We got to fix our eyes on Jesus and get our ass out of the boat. The Christian life is not in the boat. The Christian life is out there amidst the wind and the waves with our eyes fixed on Jesus. It's dangerous out there. It's scary out there. You might sink. Yep. If you take your eyes off Jesus, you will sink. When Peter took his eyes off Jesus and he sank, what did Jesus say to him? What the heck are you doing out here? Get your butt back in the boat. That's not what Jesus said. He said, why did you doubt? Why did you take your eyes off me? And he reached out to save him. This is what we got to do. We got to get out of the boat with our eyes fixed on Jesus. It's not about muscling our ways through it with our own arm strength, right? It's about falling on our knees and saying, God, I can't do it, but in your grace, through your power, what is impossible for me is possible for you. Come, Jesus, come change my life. Come work in my life. That's the gospel. That's the good news.